Okay, so I'm not looking my best. I actually looked really good before. Look at that spot that's come out. I'm having really bad skin at the moment. So this is an update to my video last night about going for your dreams and your jobs and everything else like that. It's 6:20 and I went to that job interview today, and I didn't know it was a job interview. I thought I'd go, they would discuss what they wanted and ask me if I could do what they want and see what else I could do. Basically, that's what I thought. Where it is that I would be working if I got the job, it's about 10 minutes drive, I guess, maybe 15. And I left about 22 minutes before. My meeting appointment, whatever you want to call it, was at 4, and it's Friday, so tea time traffic kind of starts around school time and continues to like the normal time that it does in the week. So I literally got pulled up outside like 2 minutes past 4, and then I had to walk in, and I walked in and I remember getting just really nervous. And you know when you walk in somewhere and there's like people stood in front of you, you don't know who they are, like they're on the desk in front of you, like nervous, you're like, I've come to see, like, and I think I just like verbal diarrhea everywhere. And they're the two main staff that work there, and they went, oh, they just stepped out, they'll be back soon, are you Melanie? And I'm like, yeah. And she went, take a seat and I'll phone them and see how long they're going to be. So she got on the phone, and it became apparent that they weren't coming back, from like the length of the conversation. And she was writing things down, and she said that they'd broken down, which confused me because they have really expensive cars, like they have supercars and like Range Rovers, like my dream cars. Like I would love the Range Rover that he drives. And she said come and have a chat, so I went and had a chat with her, and she was like asking me what I could do. And that was my worst fear, being asked what I could do, because I basically thought that I would go and they would say, can you do this, can you do that? And I was like, so I wasn't very prepared, and I was like nervous. And she seemed really nice, but I feel like she felt like I would be taking over her or the other one's job, and that they were trying to get rid of someone. Basically, that's not the case. Basically, they need someone else because the business has become so big. They need a third person on the office side of things. And there was a man working there as well, who I don't know who it was. And I told her a little bit what I did, but I feel like I didn't sell myself the way I could have sold myself, because I don't normally do interviews. Normally, if anyone needs me to go and do work for them, even if it's a one-off thing, they normally know what I can do, or I know what they want, and I can tell them if I can do it or whatever. And it turns out it basically, well, she doesn't know what he wants basically, but I said, as far as I was aware, he wants me to go in there and take off some of their workload off them, because it's starting to become too much for them to do. And it sounded like she wanted me to take over her role as she does invoicing, so it basically sounded like that's what she wanted me to do if she had the choice to tell me what to do. And she was telling me how they, well, actually I can't tell you that because it'll show you what area I'll be working in. And then she said, do you know anything about pensions? And I'm like, I know some, but I never said this at the time, but we're just getting into doing pensions for companies, and it's really hard to set up, but once you've set it up, it's fine. Then I got asked if I could do payroll, which I can, because that's what I do on Thursdays, and I'm like, yeah, I can do the payroll. And then they asked me if I could do self-assessment tax returns, which again I can do. So basically he ain't gonna get me cheap, because he's wanting me to do finance work basically as well as office work. So because she said, I don't know how much he's going to offer you, that's something you're going to have to negotiate with him. And when I didn't know he wanted me to do all this finance side, I had a figure in my head of what I wanted, and I weren't going to go any less than what was in my head, because I know what I get for what I do now, and it's what I was going to let him pay me is actually less than what I get now. So, but I basically want this job for the experience, and to help with my CV basically. So I was willing to work less than what I'll do now. But now I know what he wants me to do, and he wants me to do highly skilled stuff that would cost him a lot of money if he went and got it done professionally or by our business. It would cost him a hell of a lot of money. So I've increased what I want in my head, and I want the job title finance manager basically. If he wants me at that cheap price that I've got in my head per hour, and it's cheap for what I can do, like it's not cheap for other people, like it's well above minimum wage, like well above minimum wage. I'm not even sure what minimum wage is at the moment. That's really bad, isn't it? I think minimum wage is $7.50 an hour. It's well above that. It's above what those two women are earning there. I was just so nervous, and she didn't know what to ask me, and she felt awkward, and she normally does the recruiting and hiring for the other side of the business but not this side, and she didn't know what he was looking for. And I was a little bit shocked that, because she said they'd just gone out, and I'm thinking, you know, I'm coming at 4 o'clock, why would you go out? And like, they knew I was coming, like this woman knew who I was, but yeah. And I was like so nervous, like I was kind of nervous all day about it, and I like started getting ready really early. Like I went and did my makeup early so it would settle and it wouldn't look too like caked on. And I did my hair and I got ready, and I was ready like half an hour before I had to leave. Like I had my outfit on and everything, and I went with the blue trousers, which fit amazingly. Like I wish they did them in black, and if I get the job I will get a second pair of them because I think I'm going to live in them. And the ironic thing was, I went for the yellow blouse because it just flowed and fitted perfectly. It was exactly what I wanted, and I wore it with the black jacket because I came and put my blue jacket on, and even though the blue jacket did look better, and it's the same size as the black jacket and it's by the same brand, it doesn't fit me as nicely. So I would have to get another blue jacket at some point, and I think so I don't know if I've got the job, I don't know if I'm going to get the job, I don't know, because I feel like I didn't sell myself. Like I got really nervous. She's like, what can you do? And I'm like, I can do this, I can do that. She's like, well, what we might want to do is this. Like she didn't know, and I felt like she felt a bit put out at first, like I was trying to take her job. But I said to her that as far as I'm aware, that they basically want me to go in and help them, but also it's becoming obvious he wants me to do other things. So it would appear he wants me to do a lot of financial things for him, which obviously I can do, but it takes a lot of time up, these things. So he can't expect me to go in for like whatever hours a week. Like I don't know what he wants from me hours wise, because she said, what can you do? And I said, well, I'm available 4 days a week at the moment, but I can't give him those 4 days. Like if he only wanted me in 3 hours a time, I couldn't possibly do it, because I need to keep at least one of those days free, because I have other things that I want to do. So she said, well, what's your availability? I said, well, it's whatever he wants from me at the moment. He's basically got the pick of what he wants. So can you do 9 till 5? So yeah, I can do 9 till 5, 8 till 4. And in all honesty, even though I'm not a morning person, I would prefer to work 8 till 4. Just because like today the traffic is bad. Like it starts getting bad at 3:30, well 3 o'clock really, and like even like until like 5:30, 6 o'clock. And I feel like if he wants me to work Friday, I would much prefer to finish at 4 if I can get away with finishing at 4, because they don't need me there to do a lot of what those girls are doing. Those girls are like planning the rotas, making sure there's people to do these things and cover these shifts, and I don't think I'm going to be doing that, because they've got their systems, they've been doing that for a long time, probably since day one, and I don't think that they need me there for that. I think they need help with the admin side of things, and obviously the finance side of things, and obviously I want the title head of finance. Whether or not I'll get the title that I want and the job is a different thing. Like he's got my phone number, but I feel awkward about him phoning me up, because I feel like I'm just going to fall to bits on the phone. Like he's going to ask me a question and I'm going to be like, but I don't know, like it was a really awkward situation, because she didn't know what he wanted to ask me, and because he wasn't there, he couldn't ask the questions. And I don't know, it was a very, very difficult situation to be in, and I didn't know what he wanted me for, basically. And I don't think they've even fully decided what they want me for, but they seem to want me for a financial side of things, to set up self-employment and do tax returns for people and things like that, which happens in April. And I'm planning on applying for my dream job next year, around June time. So, and I might not get it, but we'll see. But yeah, it's just all like, ugh. So at the moment, I don't know if I've got a job, or if I've not got a job. I don't know if I sold myself well. Apparently I look the part, because my dad saw me and he said you look the part, but that's it really. I don't want a job where it's not exactly what I want. Like, I know I'm not 100% going to get what I want, and if I'm going to get what I want an hour, and how many hours they're going to give me. Like, if they're only going to give me 12 hours, I want to do it over 2 days. I'm not doing it over 3 days, because that will tie me down. Whereas I could then find another job where they want me for 2 days, if that makes sense. Because I'm trying to build up my CV, and I'm trying to build up my skills as well. So that is that, and I don't know when they're going to phone me. I feel like it won't be till Monday now. Because obviously they're going to get feedback off her and see what she thought of me. And I hope, when I left she said, I hope we get to work together soon. But maybe she's just saying that, I don't know. Like, people say things just to be nice. And I just said it was nice to meet her. And she said bye and she remembered my name, but I didn't remember hers, and I'm sure she told me. I'm really bad with names though. Like, really, really bad with names. Which is bad. But yeah, that's my update for this work life motivational improvement kind of thing. I had this white vest on underneath the blouse. I don't know if you could still see my black bra, but I think it helped disguise that I had a black bra on, because I don't actually have a white bra. I don't normally do white, but yeah. And I was really shocked that that yellow top that I wore looked as good as it did. And I was going to work with black trousers, but I thought I'll put it over these blue ones. Those blue ones are my absolute favourites. Like, I'm going to have to get, if I get this job, I will get a second pair, because I'm just going to live in them. I've been putting clips on this channel today, and I've done about 12. So I don't want to film like 10, and then I've only got 2 more up than what I've filmed today. So I'm heavily made up because I went to that job interview. Well, I'm not heavily made up, it just looks really good in this lighting. It's 6:30 now, my interview was at 4. And I know the 2 females who work there I know how much they get an hour, and it's above minimum wage. But now I know he wants all these finance things, like he wants me to do tax returns and things like that. I've increased it like by £2 more an hour. And I want the job title finance manager as well. She said she's going to get him to phone me. I don't know if he will. Like, I'm hoping he does phone me. People skills and gaining new skills work-wise as well. But ultimately it's for my PC, for my own CV. Ultimately that's what this is all about, improving it. That's what the charity work's about. That's what everything's about, to get what I need to go for my dream job. So I don't know how it's gone. She's obviously going to feed the information back to him. I don't know if she liked me, but it was a very difficult situation to walk into. I was nervous and I struggled to get out, like, I've come to see such and such, like, I was just like, and they're like, are you Mel? And I'm like, yeah. I was like really, really struggling. And it was more awkward because they'd broken down and they worked there, and I thought I was meeting them, and I thought they'd tell me what they wanted. I didn't know it was actual job interview. And now I feel like if they get me back in, I'm going to be interviewed again, which is just stressful. Like, it's not exactly ideal because I don't normally do job interviews and I'm not good at selling myself, but I'm more confident than I was a year ago. And like, even my dad wished me luck. It was so nice. He's like, the best of luck. Like, like, I was just like, oh, I'm scared. He's like, you've just got to go in. And I did it, but it was scary. Now, because I haven't met them, if they get me back in, I'm going to have to meet them, and then I'm going to be scared all over again. So it's just like, But I think, like, with any interview, well, there's loads of people who are confident, and probably the most confident people, like, struggle with interviews. And then, like, when you're the new person and you're having to learn things, and it's difficult because I know my job's going to involve having to make phone calls, and I hate making phone calls. Like, I really, really hate making phone calls, and I feel like this job's going to involve me having to make countless phone calls to different people. But I guess I'll get used to it. It's like when I worked where I worked last, like, I had to phone and get taxis for people. And I hate making phone calls. I know, like, ringing up and asking for a taxi and telling them where you're going is easy. And it's probably easier than what I'm going to have to do. But I need to put myself out my comfort zone, get confidence, get the skills I need, get my CV to the level I need it to be. I've been really ill all day. I still feel nauseous and dizzy. I've got a pounding headache. I'm dehydrated. I've eaten my tea. I've just had a cold drink. I'm going to drink a lot more liquids tonight. Because today I've had a cup of coffee. I had an energy drink. I had a small Diet Coke. I had a small bottle of water. My head's pounding. I've just had a J2O. I think it's the apple and mango one. I think. So I'm just going to drink a lot of cold liquids and sort out to-do list for this weekend, because the last couple of days I've not got much done, but then again the last few weeks I haven't because I'm feeling ill, and I just need to, like, start prioritising things, and I need to start working on just getting jobs, basically, because I need to do this. Like, I'm not getting any younger, like my doctor pointed out the other day. Now's the time to build a life, to get the jobs that I want, and to build my career prospects, and I'm not going to get that sitting at home. So I guess it all starts here.